Hello, my name is Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. I've been teaching kids to crochet for 5 years and I thought it would be really nice to share it with you too. It's a wonderful craft and I just love it. So I think you will too. So this first lesson is about making slip knots and chain stitches, which is the very first thing you need to learn. What you'll need for this lesson is simply some yarn, and some regular medium weight acrylic yarn is perfect for this, for beginners. And you're going to need a crochet hook. I am using a 5mm hook here. Some crochet hooks have other letters or numbers on them. I don't pay any attention to that. I only look for millimeters. And your label, the label for this type of yarn will say medium number 4 in the corner there. They will always tell you the weight usually, and then it tells you the hook size that is recommended for the yarn. This one actually recommends a 5.5mm hook, but if you have another size that's a slightly different size, that's okay. If you have a different type of hook, that's okay also. Red Heart, this kind of yarn is perfect for beginners. There are other yarns that you might want to try. So this kind of yarn is so nice and soft, and it's lovely and beautiful and it's tempting, but I don't recommend this for beginners. Please don't use it. It makes it very difficult to see your stitches, and I want you to have success. So try to use, if at all possible, try to use regular yarn. I'm calling this regular yarn here. This is acrylic yarn and it's really good for beginners. So let's make a slip knot. You need a slip knot because it creates a loop for your hook. So go ahead and get your yarn, and we're going to stretch it out in front of us, and then we're going to take it and create a curve like this. So take that curve and flip it over and make a loop. And your tail, I'm calling the tail the part that's cut, it's over the top. And then take that loop and fold it over onto what I'm going to call the working yarn. It comes from your ball of yarn. And then you're going to grab that little piece in the center and the tail and pull them apart. And you have a slip knot and a loop. Now there are probably a dozen ways at least to make a slip knot. I'm just showing you an easy way. Now there's where you're going to put your hook, but this loop is too big, so if you lift it up and pull the working yarn, you can make it smaller. So that's really nice. The slip knot makes that possible. The yarn slides through. Now that's too tight on my hook, so I'm going to pull the tail and open it up just a little bit. And that's good. So you have enough space for your hook to slide through. Okay, there's a little space in there. It's not too tight around your hook. Okay, just a little triangle of extra space. Now the pointy part of your hook is going to go through your loops at the pointy part of the loop. See how it's shaped like a raindrop? So your hook will come through that way. It will not come through if you have your hook turned another way. So just keep that in mind, and you'll see why that's important later. It'll make more sense. Okay, now if you take your hook out and pull both sides of the yarn, it pops right out. And so let's do it again. We're going to practice this. So you're going to lay it this way and take the curved side and flip it over away from you to make a little loop. And then we're going to take that loop and fold it over onto the working yarn. And grab the tail and grab that little piece of yarn in the center and pull them apart, and you'll have a slip knot. Now if you want to practice that, if you're having any trouble, just stop the video and go back and watch it a couple of times, and you will get it. You just keep doing it until you get it. And so you just need a slip knot. And I just pulled both ends of the yarn once the loop was the right size, and that tightened up that slip knot. Okay? Now I just want to take a moment to explain that your dominant hand is the hand that you use the most. And so you'll probably use your crochet hook in your dominant hand. If you're left-handed, your hook will be in your left hand, and then it would be best to put your ball of yarn on the right hand side of you. If you're right-handed and you hold the hook in your right hand, you should put the ball of yarn on the left-hand side of you. So the yarn will always be in your non-dominant hand, and the hook will always be in your dominant hand, but I wanted to explain in case you're left-handed and you'll be able to follow. Now we're going to learn how to hold the hook and the yarn. There's a flat place usually in the middle of your hook, and it's okay if you have a different kind of hook, like the kind with the rubber handle or something. It's totally fine, but that's a good place to hold your hook in your dominant hand. So grab your hook with your loop on it and straighten out your working yarn, straighten that out, and then you can hold the tail in your dominant hand. And now we're going to take our non-dominant hand and lay it on the yarn and put our index finger under the yarn. Now lift your hand gently and turn it over. And I'm going to show you every finger has a job to do. Our ring finger and our pinky is going to fold over the yarn to provide some tension, and our thumb and our middle finger are going to hold on to the tail right there. Okay, now just stop the video if you need to really see this and get your hand in place. This yarn is going to go over your index finger, and it should remain straight and taut so that when I touch it like that, it should bounce back and stay straight at all times while we're making our chain stitches. And your hands should be very close together. Okay, you should be able to touch, and you want to continue holding on to that tail with your thumb and your middle finger. And what that does is it keeps the pointy part of your loops pointing towards your non-dominant hand. Now some people will wrap the yarn around their hands different ways in order to provide more tension. I have to do this a lot because my hands are so dry. I'm a gardener. You can probably see it on my hands, and I don't like to wear gloves, so I have trouble getting my hands 100% clean. So if you ever take your hand out, just go ahead and slide your index finger under the yarn. Have all three of your other fingers on top of the yarn. Gently turn your hand over. Your pinky and ring finger will hold the yarn, and your thumb and your middle finger are going to hold the tail right next to the slip knot. Okay? And so your dominant hand will hold your hook. You're going to point your hook toward your non-dominant hand and down toward the table, and then point it away from you. And then that yarn will have wrapped around your hook. Let's do that again. Point it to your non-dominant hand down toward the table, and then point it away from you again, and you will have wrapped the yarn around your hook. And we call that yarning over. That's the proper term for that. We're going to yarn over, okay? And so we're just wrapping the yarn around the hook, and in a moment we're going to pull the hook down so we can grab that with our hook. Now, it is wrapped around your hook right now. If you have your hook and yarn like this, it's wrapped around, and we're going to take the hook and pull it down. And if you have trouble keeping that yarn on your hook, you can turn your non-dominant hand more toward the table like that. So your knuckles are facing down and toward the table, and that way your yarn is wrapped around the hook even more, and your hook will grab it when you pull it down. So now gently pull your hook down, and it should grab the working yarn. And we're going to pull a loop of the working yarn through the loop below. So gently pull it down, and then push your hook up again. You've just pulled a loop of the yarn through the loop on your hook, and that's called a chain stitch. That's a chain stitch. So it looks like a V sort of, and in a minute when you make more, it'll be more obvious. So yarn over again, pull your hook down gently, keep pulling until it comes through the loop below, and you've pulled a loop through the loop again, or you could say you've made another chain stitch. So yarn over, pull your hook down, it's grabbed the working yarn, and then you're going to pull that through the loop below. Make sure that the pointy part of your hook is facing your non-dominant hand. Right now mine isn't, but when you pull it through the loops, you're going to need to do that. Now if it comes off your hand, or if you have to stop for a minute, just release the yarn out of your non-dominant hand, slide your index finger under, tilt your hand, and then put your ring finger and pinky over the yarn and grab some of the stitches with your fingers, with your middle finger and your thumb, and so that your hands will stay closer to the hook. You always want to hold that so that the pointy part of your loop is pointing toward your non-dominant hand. So we're going to yarn over, gently pull our hook down, grab the working yarn and pull it through the loop below, and then push your hook up again. And then keep doing that. Yarn over, pull it down gently, grab the yarn with your hook and pull it through the loop below. The pointy part of my hook is facing my non-dominant hand every time I pull it through the loop, because that's how it'll come through. It'll come through well, but if I have my hook turned another way, like this, it's going to get stuck. Okay? So go ahead and make sure that you're holding your work and gently pulling toward your non-dominant hand just a little bit, and that keeps that loop in the right direction. If it sags, if the yarn sags, it will not work. Okay, so yarn over, gently pull down, pull through the loop, yarn over, gently pull down, pull through the loop, and you're just making chain stitches. That's what these kind of stitches are called. And then when you have a few stitches, you're going to have to let go with your thumb and middle finger and move them up closer to the hook. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Now, if you need to, you can slow down the video and start back at the beginning, and you can go into the settings and make it go slower. If you need help with that, tell me in the comments and I will explain that better. So good job, good job. Keep practicing your chain stitches. Excellent work. I'm so thrilled you're here. Keep at it, and I will see you soon.